Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we are building a beach house. And this one's a little bit different than I normally do because I usually stick away from like the dark, like more orangey brown woods with beach houses, mostly because I think they look dumb when I'm building it. But I was really like wanting to make it darker this time because I usually don't, and so I was trying really hard to do it. And at first it like wasn't working, and I was like, oh, I'll just give up, do like the light wood again. But I kept working on it. It actually took kind of a lot of time, but I wanted to do it, so I kept trying like different like colors and like different things. But then I actually did do the darker like roofing and stuff, and then I kept with that with the like wood wall and with like the columns, and the columns have this like orange-ish red kind of bit around it. I don't actually know what like the material is, but like it has that circular thing around it. And so I was like, we can just do orange for the outside. But then making the entire house orange looked kind of dumb, so I was like, okay, so maybe we should not do that. And so I mixed some brown in there, and it actually looks kind of cool, but it sticks out like a lot, especially because a lot of the stuff around us is, plants. But then like the big structures that are like the fake ones are usually also lighter. And so it was a little bit weird, but I thought it looked cool. And I've been thinking about doing this like another beach house for a while. It's actually been 3 months since I built my last one, which is honestly a while because I've built like a bunch of different other types of houses recently and a lot of like repeat stuff. So I was like, I could build a beach house. And then I was looking at my analytics, and another one that I had built like a couple months ago had been like spiking in views, which I thought was strange because a lot of them don't do that. A lot of them will just like from like months ago will just like sit at like how many views they are, which makes sense because like old videos don't get promoted like as much because they're old. The newer videos are more the type of things that are gonna get promoted because they're newer. But it was like I'm assuming it was from search. I guess I haven't really looked because I can tell like where people like find my videos the most often. It's percentages, not like direct things. But I think it's probably from search because I doubt it was like on the main page. A lot of my videos aren't actually found on the main page. It's usually by search or like through my channel. Like people like search for my channel more often than they search for my videos, which I think is strange but also kind of cool. But it's mostly through research that my videos get a lot of views. So I'm assuming that's what happened here, and that people were looking for beach houses again. Middle of November, around Thanksgiving, people want beach houses apparently. I'm assuming everyone's like, we want a break, we want to see some beach houses, or something like that. I honestly don't know the exact motivation, as I don't watch a lot of speed builds anymore. I haven't really watched a lot of YouTube in a while, actually, so not really sure. But I decided to build another one because, people are watching it. I already wanted to do it, and I hadn't built one in a while, so just decided to build one. And I also was figuring out when I was looking for how long it was since I built my last one. I posted my first beach house in May, or at least that was the first one that YouTube could find. Because I was searching on just my, YouTube studio thing. And it says the first one I posted was in May. And honestly, I don't think I believe it, but sometimes it just doesn't work very well. Sometimes it's just like, you have no modern houses on your entire YouTube channel. And so I was thinking it was like very weird because, I figured it would have been, because it was like, what, 2018, summer of 2018-ish, around there, maybe 2019, I don't really remember, one of those two, when Island Living came out, and so I had been building them for a while, but I guess I don't think I started building, like, beach houses right when it first came out. I got it around that time because I was really excited about, like, islands and, like, water houses and all that stuff, so I was really excited about that, and so I bought it, did a bunch of chores for it, or like, all that I did. And so, but I didn't build like beach houses because I thought I sucked at it, which it was a lot of the things that I did. I wouldn't stray from any like not normal looking to me like house, like a bunch of like Mediterranean stuff. Modern I definitely didn't do, and then I got better at it when I like right before I started my channel, I built my very first modern house, which I think is really weird because now I can just like build a modern house. And so I was thinking it was really strange that I had like not done that for like so long, because I have had The Sims for like 3.5-ish years or somewhere around that. And so it was just very strange that at the beginning I would at first not build my own houses at all because I didn't know how to do that, but I've told that story a bunch. But like I was building just like normal basic suburban looking houses at the beginning, and that was like all I would build. So it's very strange that I can now just like build a beach house and like put all of that stuff down. So I definitely think that building much more often helped me with like expanding the different ways that I've built and like the different styles. So I think that's good. But on that, we're gonna move on to some things that happened this week. I'm actually, I was struggling so hard to figure out things that I had, done this week because I hadn't started like a list, because I make a list for like the things that I can talk about in my voiceovers because I have a very awful memory, and if I were to just start recording a voiceover and just like think of it as I go, it would not work out very well. It would not like work at all. I would probably just sit there making random nonsense stuff the entire time. So I have like a little tiny list where I write like a couple things to like remind me of what I'm supposed to be doing during a voiceover. So I hadn't done that until like Thursday or Friday maybe. I don't know which. It was late one of those 2 days. And so I was like, oh no, what have I done this week? And so it took me until yesterday like evening. I was like thinking it through. I was like looking through all my stuff that I've done this week, trying to figure something out, and I could only think of a couple things because this week was kind of boring. But I thought of a couple things. Not a lot at school though, but the first thing is I talked about like a French food thing that we did a couple like last Friday maybe. I don't really remember. I think it was last Friday though. And so I had a bag of food and I brought bread. That's just backstory. But I've had this like food. I've been slowly eating it because I can't eat it all at the same time because then it'll make me sick. But I've been eating it a bunch, and so it's just been sitting on my desk because I don't really have anywhere else to put it. But the bread that I had got, I had not been eating a lot of that because I'd been eating more of the like stuff that I thought was gonna go bad quicker. Apparently I was wrong because there's like some like cookie stuff in here that's not gonna go bad. But then there's like some like cake, I don't know, bar thingy, I don't know. It's not bad because I tried it yesterday and it's all fine. But the bread, it was dark. It was fully dark in my room. I usually am in the dark. Like there's no lights on right now when I'm doing it, but I can see just fine because there's a window. The blinds are closed, but I can see. But it was very dark because I think it was like late at night. But I was like, okay, I could use some bread right now. And so I pulled out the bread. I just kind of got it out of the package. I just kind of grabbed it in the bag and grab the bread feeling thing. I don't know. You grab the one that looks and feels kind of like bread even though you're in the really dark kind of thing. But I bit into it and I was like, this tastes bad. And so I was like chewing it and I was like, okay, this is pretty bad. So I went over to turn my light on and I looked at the bread and I was like, that's a green bread right there. And so I found the bag that the bread came in and I spit the bread out. Moldy bread does not taste good if you're ever wondering. It was not a good experience, but it was not as bad as the moldy milk or like spoiled milk that I tried like last summer accidentally because it was in a tiny little carton and I just kind of drank it. It was nasty. I could taste that like for weeks. It was very bad, but the bread wasn't that bad. Don't know what the bread tastes like at this point. Couldn't tell you. Just know it tasted really bad. But that was not a fun thing to happen. It was like 9 at night, and I just took a bite of moldy bread. That was really bad. But I got rid of the other piece of bread because I was like, this is probably also not good. And then I moved. There was a croissant in here. The croissant apparently is not moldy yet, but it's downstairs. And I haven't eaten it, so I'm assuming it's gonna go bad at some point, which is my bad. But I did get a lot of food that day, and I did eat most of it before it went bad. So, and also the baguette was mine, so it's not like it's that bad. And I did distribute it everywhere, so it's not like that. But I had 5 pieces of bread in here, so I was trying to eat, and there was only 2 left. So I don't know. But the other thing, like a quick thing, I had painted pumpkins from like a couple of weeks ago. I honestly don't know how long ago that was, but I had painted pumpkins from an event that I did with my cheer group, and the first one went yesterday. It got very moldy at the bottom, and I wasn't checking the bottom. I was like the part you can see, I was like checking to see if it was moldy, and then I was like making just sure it wasn't like soft or like making bumps or whatever, because some of them are a little weird with how they mold. But the first one was like a Frankenstein kind of one, and it was very bad at the bottom, and I hadn't noticed because it was, you know, at the bottom away from where I could see. So I wiped it down that. It was like a glass, I don't know, plate kind of thing. So best way I can describe what it was sitting on. So it wasn't that bad, but I got rid of all that, disinfected that, just got rid of all the mold. But I still do have 3 more, and as far as I can tell, they are not fully moldy yet. I actually have one sitting on my desk that I painted like almost entirely black with some ghosts on it, and it isn't moldy or soft in the slightest. Both of the small ones are not like hard, or they are hard, they're not soft at all, and so I'm a little weirded out because the 2 bigger ones, the one that I threw away and then the other one that I have, were a little bit soft before I figured them out, but the other big one is soft and it'll probably be thrown away in a couple days. But this one and then the brown one that I have are both fine, but I got them at the same time, and the people I got them from were like, bought them all at the same time, so I honestly don't know. But that's about it for, you know, pumpkins and stuff. So, it is almost screenshots time, so I'm going to stop talking right here. But subscribe if you did like today's video, if you want to see more like this. But as I said, it is almost screenshots time, so I post 4 videos a week, so you can watch another video next time. Bye!